Hands-on preview.
Death can't stop us.
I wish it would stop you at least.
It's safe to say we're currently living through a golden age for swordplay games. Sekiro and Ghost of Tsushima lead a pack of accomplished duelers where every strike, lunge and parry feels supremely satisfying. Hoping to find a place among them is Onimusha Way of the Sword, Capcom's long-awaited return to a series slumbering since the PS2 days. And, based on a small sample I've been able to play at Gamescom 2025, I'd say its chances are looking very good indeed.
There's been one since PS2, that's crazy.
No challenge.
Set in a dark fantasy reimagining of Kyoto during the Edo period of Japan, Onimusha Way of the Sword has you take up the sharpened blades of Miyamoto Musashi, a swordsman sporting both the face of the late legendary actor Mihune Toshiro and a talking gauntlet that eats the souls of dead enemies.
The power of the Oni is within your eyes as well. It must have been awakened by the Dark Master sword.
What's that?
That second point is the more pertinent one. Fallen foes drop souls, represented by flames that float around the battlefield before being sucked up by your hungry jewelry. Right, before you get any wrong ideas, Onimusha may have souls, but it is absolutely not a Souls-like. On its default action difficulty setting, Way of the Sword is not particularly punishing, at least not in this 30-minute demo, which admittedly does feel plucked from a very early stage in the story. It certainly requires skill to get the most out of its enjoyably flashy combat, but generous parry windows, a block that protects from all angles, and cushioned enemy attacks mean Onimusha seems on track to be one for all action fans, not just the FromSoft fanatics. And while I would have liked to have faced a steeper challenge in this demo, the foes I faced, especially the end of level boss, felt well judged.
That's your best.
I'm particularly impressed by how combat is built on a foundation of both health and stamina. Enemies are, of course, defeated by bottoming out their health bars, but each time you
It looks
strike or
really
deflect
good.
their attacks,
I love
you
the fact it's
erode
not
away their
Souls-like.
stamina bar. If that hits zero, the foe
I'm so
becomes
tired of every game
exhausted,
coming out
quite
being a Souls-like,
literally
bro.
pausing to catch their breath. This is, of course, the perfect time to strike. A single button press triggers a break Isun move that violently dismembers your target. The animations are gloriously extravagant and can be chained together if a couple of enemies have been exhausted at the same time. For regular enemies, breaking their stamina spells instant death, and because parries quickly exhaust fodder, you're rewarded for honing that skill. You take less damage and get to witness cool kills. I'm deeply amused by how you can deflect arrows back at archers who then, winded by their own projectile, stand around simply awaiting their fate of single-click decapitation. But things change when it comes to boss fights. The demo's final clash against the exuberant Sasaki Ganryu, a tall, gangly samurai powered up by his own gauntlet, is a much fiercer affair in which you'll deplete his stamina bar at least once before being able to deal the final blow. In this situation, an alternative version of Break Isun plots two marks on your target. Strike the red one, and you'll be rewarded with a burst of extra damage. Hit the purple to generate a bonus batch of souls.
Would you just die?
Done having fun yet?
And that brings us back to souls. These flickering flames are color-coded. Red souls are used to purchase upgrades, while blue souls feed your Oni power gauge, which when full can be used to unleash special attacks. Yellow souls, meanwhile, are rarer and replenish your health. All three are vital, not just for their individual properties, but for how they form a cycle.
What could be more fun? Dancing with death.
For instance, in the demo, Musashi was equipped with the Two Celestials, a twin dagger special weapon that reaps yellow souls from fallen enemies. It can only be used when the Oni power gauge is topped off. As it's a powerful attack that requires resources, it's sensible to use it against tougher opponents who, naturally, deal more damage. Killing such foes with the Two Celestials basically refunds damage.
It looks really good though.
Thanks to the yellow
Like, I'd
souls
be
the
kind of
attack
shocked if it
creates.
ends
And
up
so
being
there's the
bad.
cycle. You kill foes to gain blue souls, which powers up the ability to use special attacks, which cause your enemy to drop yellow souls, which instantly heal you from the wounds sustained during that fight. It perhaps doesn't feel quite that elegant in game, but there's a clear system upon which battle thrives. There are other examples of that too. Successful parries generously build a diamond-shaped meter that eventually causes your blade to temporarily erupt with damage buffing blue sparks. Hitting that mark feels fantastic. The animation alone makes it feel as if the battle has been hit by a shot of adrenaline. But if you can continue a successful chain of deflects, you can sustain that buff seemingly indefinitely. It's another smart system that rewards consistent skill with your blade. It's only when I came to write this preview that I realised that Onimusha is very much a game about managing gauges and meters. You need to deplete health bars and stamina meters, build power gauges, and keep other buff providing vessels topped up. On paper, that may sound dull and overly mathematical for a game about supernatural samurai fighting through demon-infested feudal Japan, but in practice, it works well. That's entirely down to the fact that the implement for juggling those meters, your sword, feels fantastic to wield.